Dennis Abner has spent the last 20 years on a spiritual and physical journey. For the first time on television, meet the extraordinary man they call Cat. A violent head-on collision flattened Nigel Bam's face. See how doctors used his picture to patch him back up. This villager was electrocuted as a boy. Now, his stunning power over electricity is being put to a shocking test. Plus, can this hula-hooping champ gyrate her way into the history books? And the unforgettable wedding ceremony where the bride forgot to wear a dress. Unbelievable? Believe it. On Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Welcome to Ripley's. Some of the most unbelievable stories we have found have been stories of survival. In the case of this first story, a man literally faces death. He's the victim of a horrific boating accident where his head smashes through a piece of plexiglass like this. Now, he credits a family photo for restoring his life, and that's because surgeons used a snapshot as the blueprint to rebuild his entire skull. To look at Nigel Bam's face today, you'd never know it was once smashed beyond recognition. To rebuild it, doctors would have to peel off his face. And believe it or not, they were forced to reconstruct the bones using only this photograph. For Nigel, what was supposed to be an afternoon of fishing off the coast of Plymouth, England, quickly turned into a day of horror. Nigel's wife, Karen, remembers the devastating phone call.
I knew it was rather late. I'm getting quite anxious. The Coast Guard told me the boat sank.
The boat was Nigel's 27-foot cruiser. The vessel had slammed into a rock. Nigel remembers only fragments of what happened next.
From my waist, I pivoted over and went straight through the hatch. And this hatch is plastic and it's 10 millimeters thick. Very solid. And that, I broke it. My face physically broke the hatch.
Doctors say that the brute force of the impact should have killed Nigel. Now, with the bones of his face crumbled under his skin, the boat was sinking.
The boat was well and truly on its way under. There was only 2 of us on board. We didn't have time to put the radio call out. We had barely enough time to put the life dinghy in the water.
Nigel was fighting to survive, but the 40-year-old engineer had no idea just how serious his injuries were. It wasn't until he awoke in a hospital bed that he had a terrifying realization.
Obviously, I felt something wasn't right. And I thought, oh no, I've lost my teeth. It wasn't until I was sat up the following day in hospital and I had an itch on the side of my nose and I went like that to rub it and I felt the face move across all the bones and I could hear them all crunching inside my head.
What you can't see is that under Nigel's skin, his skull is smashed. Crushed like an eggshell, the fractures in his skull too numerous to count.
I went into shock after seeing him and couldn't stop shaking, and then my mum went in and saw him and she couldn't stop shaking, and my husband's partner was there and he wouldn't let his wife go and see him because he looked so awful.
He had destroyed nearly all of the orbit on the right side of his face. He had detached most of his upper jawbone from the base of the skull, and he had severely damaged his cheekbones on both sides.
Nigel's face was damaged so badly that when it came time to rebuild it, there was almost nothing left to guide them. So unbelievably, doctors began using this photograph to guide their reconstruction. They processed the image to create a three-dimensional replica of Nigel's face.
We actually pulled the whole of his forehead down, right the way down to here, to enable us to see the entire bone structure in his upper jaw and around his orbit. Then we took big chunks of bone from the outer table of his skull.
To hold Nigel's new face together, Dr. Liggins and his team implemented an experimental new technique, implanting 9 titanium plates and 20 bolts right into Nigel's bones. These x-rays show exactly where the high-tech hardware is attached.
Very high-grade titanium is used to hold the bones together initially when they're setting. In the old days, we couldn't do this, and we just had to move the bones around, and hopefully they would set in the right position.
It took 7 delicate operations, but surgeons molded Nigel's face back to its original shape.
You can't help every time you look in the mirror. You know, all right, yeah, you look to see if the hair is all right, but then you look to see how it's looking today. How's that cheekbone? Is it swelling out?
Even though this father of 2 says it's still hard to look at his swollen face in the mirror, in time, doctors say the healing process will leave him looking and feeling just like before.
Literally for months afterwards, he didn't look like himself. And the definition of the face, I would say, is taken shape far more in the last 7 months even. You can see that, and he's far more his old self.
For the record, the titanium in Nigel's head does not set off metal detectors in places like airports. Now, Mario Ross is one of the best goalies in his league. The puck he plays with is bigger than regulation, but he can't see it coming at him. He hears it. Mario Ross is a father, a husband, and a master of the martial arts. But with all that Mario does, there's one thing he cannot do. He can't see. Mario is blind.
I turned blind when I was age 21. I'll be 45 this year.
And now Mario's taken up the sport of hockey. And even more incredible is that this blind man is the goalie. Mario was diagnosed with a severe eye disease when he was just 6 years old. 15 years later, he had completely lost his sight. But he wasn't about to let that stand in the way of his dream.
When it happened to me, I had to say, look, it's done. Let's move on with my life. So I had to get a positive attitude and start doing things for myself.
After conquering simple tasks like reading and getting around, Mario, using a combination of acute hearing and sense of touch, began pushing himself in the martial arts.
The black belt took me about 5-6 years, and in jiu-jitsu, I've been a green belt for about a little bit over 2 years now.
But one of Mario's dreams was to play hockey again. Amazingly, Mario is now a member of the Ice Owls, a team with 8 other visually impaired forwards and defensemen.
Here they come!
And Mario has one of the toughest positions on the team.
Being a goalie, it's basically listening, focusing yourself towards, where the puck is coming.
Here they come!
But without sight, tending goal takes communication.
Right side! Left side! Left side!
And a special puck.
It's got piano pins that we have inside, and it slides like this. And when the people hit it with their stick, you can hear it that way.
Mario and the rest of the Ice Owls regularly compete against teams with sighted players. Mario fiercely defends the net. But with all the commotion of a regular game, it's hard to get a feeling for just how good Mario really is. So Ripley set up a little shootout. As Mario crouches into position, a line of 8 sighted players takes to the ice. Primed and ready, they take their best shots. One puck after another, this blind goalie proves his ability. And though a few get past, he makes some amazing saves. Going through the lineup 2 times, Mario stops a very respectable 12 out of 16 pucks. Incredibly, his 75% average is far better than most sighted goalies can claim.
I don't act like an individual that's visually impaired.
Good game, guys.
I'll do anything I'll try anything. If I can't do it, at least I've tried it.
Good game. Ripley's, believe it or not, we won the game.
Now that Mario has conquered hockey, he wants to try skydiving.
Stories you can't imagine. People you won't believe. Ripley's Believe It or Not.
During his lifetime, Robert Ripley collected nearly 20,000 artifacts, 10,000 photographs, and drew more than 130,000 cartoon panels by hand. And you're about to see the kind of story that made the Ripley name synonymous with unbelievable.
These perfectly preserved bodies were discovered in the bogs of Denmark. They were found with ropes tied tight around their necks. Believe it or not, they were sacrificed in religious ceremonies almost 3,000 years ago. The acidity found in the bog soil inhibits the growth of bacteria that normally break down human flesh. The germ-free swamp has transformed skin into thick black leather, preserving the woman's hair like it was braided yesterday. The male body, discovered in 1950, is almost completely mummified. Amazingly, at 2,400 years old, this bog man still has fingernails, even facial hair. X-rays show he had impacted wisdom teeth and also suffered from rheumatism. Unbelievably, even his brain is intact. Believe it or not.
The idea of keeping a coffin in your living room may sound morbid, but Lisa Donaldson says it's just common sense and cost-effective. In fact, she's got hers standing by in the den.
Canadian carpenter Mark Zeben is obsessed with building burial coffins for the living. He's even filled his home with unique double-duty caskets. Because, believe it or not, before they're put in the ground, all of his caskets are made to be used as furniture. And today, eager customer Lisa Donaldson will see her new coffin furniture for the first time. The inspiration for Zeben's fatal furniture line came after his family received an enormous bill for his grandmother's funeral.
A casket these days in a funeral home ranges anywhere between $3,000 to $15,000. So I thought, you know, there's got to be a more practical way to the funeral thing.
Now, the living room of Mark's British Columbia home is a casket furniture showroom.
My house is full of caskets. I have a display cabinet, I have an entertainment center, I have the casket sofa. The house is full.
While some of the furniture is styled to resemble a classic coffin,
our display cabinets are shaped the old European Count Dracula kind of style.
Other customers don't need such a morbid reminder and buy more conventional-looking pieces.
This unit gives me a lot of peace of mind. I don't have to worry about my family going through the process of finding a coffin for me for later. It's quite practical, it's functional, and there we have it.
After placing her order, Lisa is getting her first look at the finished product and how it works. Always the businessman, Zeben hasn't forgotten the family pet either.
We make a lot of pet caskets and pet urns. People love their pets and they're willing to pay a lot of money for their pet caskets.
Today, the whole Zeben family is involved with the successful operation. Dad and brother help with the carpentry, and Mom sews all the linings. At just 25 years old, Mark Zeben plans to keep building his unique casket furniture until he ends up in one of his own creations.
The coffin couch carries a hefty $5,000 price tag. Now you're about to meet an animal lover who thinks that he may have uncovered the secret to communicating with our four-legged friends. This real-life Dr. Dolittle has even convinced a cow to try equestrian jumping.
Switzerland, famous for its Swiss banks, chocolates, rolling green pastures, and this man. You see, Bruno Isleaker has the uncanny ability to talk to animals. And believe it or not, he claims he can use this mysterious power to persuade an ordinary dairy cow to jump fences like a trained show horse. For 30 years, Bruno's enjoyed the reputation as one of the area's best horse trainers. But it's the unbelievable way he has with all kinds of animals that makes him truly one of a kind. Bruno claims there's no trick to what he does. He simply tells the animals what to do. The amazing thing is, they seem to understand.
Das ist eigentlich etwas, was wahnsinnig schwer zu erklären ist. Oder? Also, es kommt einfach, ich kann mit den Tieren so gut umgehen, es kommt einfach zum Bauch raus. Oder? Es kommt einfach raus. Hindern, komm!
He demonstrates his ability with these two trained sheepdogs. Reacting to Bruno's commands, the dogs work with stunning precision. Amazingly, even horses fall under Bruno's spell, uncharacteristically rolling over like dogs. But as this unique balancing act demonstrates, Bruno's well-known knack with animals extends well beyond dogs and horses.
The way Bruno communicates with animals is an absolutely remarkable gift. He's not only a horse whisperer, he whispers to cows, he talks to his dogs or to the sheep or to the other animals on the farm.
But recently, Bruno took on a challenge no one thought he could accomplish. Take a regular dairy cow, in this case, Bruno's beloved bovine, Sibyl, and train her to jump like a horse on command.
Wir haben hier in Zürich gibt's ein ganz grosses Springturnier, das ist das CSI Zürich. Und die haben auf der Werbung die eine springende Kuh. Das ist einfach so die Milchkuh, die in der Schweiz.
Since fence-jumping dairy cows would be a real problem on most farms, they're actually bred to stay put. To get his cow, Sibyl, to soar, Bruno began an intensive training program. But would this heifer have what it takes? A normal cow is lucky to clear 12 inches. Sibyl is going for 36. Weeks of conditioning, and it all comes down to this. Amazingly, after a quick approach, Sibyl nails it, easily clearing the 3-foot barrier, a new bovine high jump record. And just another example of why Bruno Isleaker is known as the Swiss Dr. Dolittle.
We'll be right back.
Still ahead, it's half motorcycle, half monster truck. Now, this daredevil will attempt a jump that could crush his career.
Some people call it crazy, some people call it stupidity, and then on the other hand, there's nothing like sailing through the air.
Plus, the cockatoo getting a pair of life-saving prosthetic legs. And the bride wasn't the one blushing at this unbelievable wedding ceremony.
Honestly, this is about the most beautiful wedding I've been to.
Next on Ripley's. Ripley's world of unbelievable animals.
Leadbetter cockatoos are so rare, serious bird enthusiasts will pay between $10,000 and $15,000 for one of these prized pets. Candy the cockatoo is one of these uncommon birds, and believe it or not, she's the only one in the world with artificial legs. A terrible fight with another bird left Candy with massive injuries to her wing, back, beak, and both of her legs. She was a bird literally at death's door.
When Candy first presented here, I guess the atmosphere was of great concern. I was fairly shocked when I saw what had happened to her feet.
Normally, an animal with such serious injuries would be put to sleep. But Dr. Harris decided that the only way to save Candy's life was to create special, one-of-a-kind prosthetic legs for her.
The idea for Candy's legs just came to me. The obvious material to use was the standard bone wire, and then I covered it in standard dental acrylic, which is activated by ultraviolet light. It's like Play-Doh when you're molding it, and then the ultraviolet light hardens it into a nice light plastic that made a great foot.
Though Candy is still recovering, she was actually able to walk away from the surgery on her 2 new legs. Believe it or not.
The world of monster truck racing has been invaded by a hybrid beast, and Ripley's is the first to unveil the only half monster truck, half motorcycle to hit the streets. In the mega destruction world of monster trucks, a revolution is taking place. Because this man has designed and built a whole new breed of monster truck. And believe it or not, when he crushes the competition, he does it standing up. It's the world's first cross between a monster truck and a motorcycle. And today, Frank Scatini will test the limits of his extreme mechanical hybrid in a display that could prove disastrous.
Some people call it crazy, some people call it stupidity, and then on the other hand, there's nothing like sailing through the air.
Frank has been obsessed with motorcycles since he was 12 years old. Although a competition motocrosser since he was 18, he found that the sport no longer provided the kind of excitement that he was looking for. So this automotive pioneer turned his interest towards building and jumping his own monster trucks. Then in 1998, Frank embarked upon a truly revolutionary design. He did it believing that his motorcycle know-how would give him an edge in the competitive monster truck playing field.
I actually built my new truck to have handlebars in it because that's just my second nature. My background is handlebars.
So Frank designed Monster Jerky at a cost of nearly $350,000. With its 800-pound tires, it has the classic monster truck look from the outside, but with the protective shell off, it's easy to see its motorcycle origins.
Serious motocross, professional level motocross racing, you're hardly ever sitting down. You're probably majority of the time standing up. And that's just basically what I'm doing in the monster truck.
The gears are shifted with the left foot, and most of the other functions are operated by hand controls.
Actually, what I have is on my left hand, I have my front brake system. On my left hand also, I use my thumb to steer the rear wheels. This would be left turn, this would be right turn. On my right hand, I have my finger throttle. It was a twist throttle before, but I was having trouble being accurate in turns.
Today, Frank is attempting an 8-car jump, but he'll need to push his machine harder than ever before to make it. He's even shortened the approach a normal monster truck would need by almost a third, from 150 feet to only 100 feet.
That length restriction that I have for the takeoff run is going to make it tough to clear the longer set of cars.
As Frank watches the cars moved into place, he can't help visualizing the worst-case scenario.
If I were to hit it with the front and it were to flip over, if my back end were to hit, it could actually send the truck all the way over frontward. Landing on top of the cage at 50 miles per hour could be death blow.
Monster truck jumping is so hazardous because of the impact it puts on the spine. And Frank's hard riding has taken a real toll on his body. He's already broken his back twice. And today's attempt, with its shortened approach, is by far his most dangerous. Frank starts backing into position. He's ready. This is it. Unbelievably, Monster Jerky's surge of power propels Frank well over his landing mark, and Frank comes down hard. He's made it, and amazingly, despite some painful bruises, he's okay, proving without a doubt his radically different, one-of-a-kind monster motorcycle truck design is here to stay.
Yeah, that landing was tough. I'll stretch for a couple minutes, I'll be fine. Yeah, baby.
Frank's truck is a real gas guzzler. Well, actually, it runs on methanol, but it still only gets 1 mile to the gallon.
Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Weddings are meant to be the ultimate expression of love. They can also be pretty stressful, especially for the bride searching for the perfect gown. But in Runaway Bay, Jamaica, this matrimonial mayhem is stripped down to the bare essentials. Because aside from the traditional veil, a smile, and some body paint, these couples have decided to bear it all in a very non-traditional exchange of their marriage vows.
I mean, if it wasn't for everybody, this would not be so special.
And besides some painful sunburns and the possible shock of seeing friends and family in the nude, most of the wedding guests had nothing but nice things to say.
Honestly, this is about the most beautiful wedding I've been to.
And due to the success of these naked nuptials, they have become an annual event. Believe it or not.
Still ahead, the skin, the eyes, the teeth. How one man's turning his spiritual vision into real flesh and bone.
Well, I feel good about what I've done so far.
Only seen here on Ripley's. Plus, he can hold high voltage wires in his hands, even power household appliances. Don't miss his electrifying demonstration. And can this woman make her hoop dreams come true? Her incredible attempt to juggle 40 pounds of plastic rings. When Ripley's returns. From childhood, we're constantly warned that when handled improperly, electricity kills. But for one man in India, having enough juice flowing through his body to stop his heart is a way of life.
Electricity is very, very dangerous, you know. Just like a cyanide, poison.
And for Ripley's, this electric warrior, Rod Mohan, will attempt to send 11,000 volts of electricity through his body. And then he'll use it, believe it or not, to power a whole range of household appliances. When he's not exploring the world of circuitry and electrical currents in his TV repair shop, Mohan is a typical father who enjoys spending time with his family. But it's Mohan's ability to withstand awesome jolts of live current that draws crowds from near and far. An ability he claims he's had since he suffered an accidental electrocution as a child.
Now they are thinking I'm a god. I'm not a god. I'm a really normal person.
He begins by demonstrating the power of electricity. Electrical shock causes rapid pulse, severe burns, unconsciousness, and even death. But somehow, Mohan is unfazed by the extreme voltage. Incredibly, proving the live current is running through his body, Mohan turns on a television. The surge of energy needed to power a 40-watt bulb is enough to cause total heart failure. But Mohan lights up a 100-watt bulb. Next, Mohan will put his amazing ability to good use by preparing breakfast. Using his body as a conduit, he starts up the blender. Then, he completes the morning meal by cooking up an egg on a hot plate.
Touch and see.
It's very hot.
Although he has made a name for himself, giving such incredible displays, his family does worry.
My wife is telling me, be careful. Beware of the shock, electric shock.
Despite the risks, he plans to continue his shocking pastime because for Rad Mohan, the amazing electric warrior, electricity is life.
Lori Lynn Lomelli has a knack for the hula hoop. She gets one going, then another, and another, and another, and before you know it, she's swinging over 40 pounds of plastic around her hips. That's a lot of plastic.
She may have the classic surfer girl's body, but this mother of three is actually 42 years old. The secret to her youthful appearance is a round tubular piece of plastic, better known as a hula hoop.
I think I probably am the world's oldest hula hooper.
And what she'll attempt for Ripley's will prove, without a doubt, she's the ultimate hula hoop master.
I think I am obsessed, yes. Just a little bit.
For Lori, the hula hoop has always been more than just a plastic ring.
The hula hoops came out in 1958, and I think it was so special. That's the year I was born, so I guess it was my destiny to be the world's hula hoop champion.
By the age of 8, Lori was already working on some pretty advanced hooping.
Hula hoops was my best friend when I was growing up, and I started just thinking of new tricks. Somersaults, headstands, stand on one leg, bring it out. I add 2 or 3, 4 hula hoops. I've just accumulated with more hula hoops as time went on.
In 1973, Lori beat an unbelievable 3 million competitors for the title of World Hula Hoop Champion. She was only 14 years old.
I don't know if it brought me fame or fortune. It just brought me more focus.
And the focus Lori uses to keep all those hoops moving at once requires world-class coordination and stamina.
The hardest trick for me is called the way out trick, and that's where you're standing on one leg. You got a hoop on your foot, hoop on your hand over here, and you're balancing them all. You got them spinning in different directions.
But never one to rest on her laurels. For Ripley's, Lori will prove she's still the best by attempting to keep more hoops revolving simultaneously than anyone in the world. Lori is going for the magic total of 82 hoops, more than 40 pounds of revolving plastic. If she keeps them spinning for 3 complete revolutions, she will be the undisputed world champion.
Here we go, 82.
With the 3rd revolution, she's done it. 82 simultaneous spins, a new world record.
When I'm hula hooping, I feel happiness, enjoyment around me. It's so much fun. It brings the kid out of me. I just love it. Thank you.
Lori says don't give up doing what you love. It took her 6 long years of losing contests before she finally walked away with a championship.
Enter Robert Ripley's archives.
Let's go with the show. Robert Ripley, leave it or not. Leave it or not.
The year is 1960. Automotive manufacturing takes a turn for the better with the invention of the single-framed unibody car chassis. And to demonstrate the strength and durability of this single-unit design, a team of engineers removes one tire and takes the 3-wheeled car on a journey from Chicago to Detroit. The interstate journey is possible due to the rigid car frame and 2,000 pounds of ballast engineers put in the trunk. Driving with one wheel missing would normally result in a traffic violation, but highway authorities grant special permission for this remarkable road trip, believe it or not.
Dennis Abner believed that he would one day transform into a tiger. When at age 23 he looked in the mirror and nothing had happened, the Native American took matters into his own hands. Well, actually, now they're more like claws. For over 20 years, the man seen here has been going through a spiritual and physical transformation so bizarre, he no longer looks entirely human. He's attempting to fulfill his ancestral tribal destiny and, believe it or not, turn himself into a cat.
Basically, it's something that I had to do. I really didn't have any choice in the matter.
For the first time, he'll share his amazing and often painful mutation. And the Ripley's crew is present to document his latest radical modification. Dennis Avner was born into a mixed Native American heritage. And as yearly class photos show, up through high school he was a normal-looking kid. But he was becoming more and more interested in his tribal traditions. Then in 1977, in a ceremony that would change his life, Dennis was given the Indian name Stalking Cat, an animal that, following Indian tradition, would become his spiritual protector, his totem.
People who are closely connected to their totems will react and view things the same as the animal that is their totem.
Soon he was even calling himself by the name Cat. I
was getting closer to assimilating the emotions and reactions of a cat.
But by 1980, simply feeling feline was no longer enough. Cat needed a physical transformation. He began a series of painful tattoos until every square inch of his head, face, and neck was covered.
Well, I started out with the tattooing because at the time that was all I could find to get done.
And although they do affect the way he talks, Cat's next change came with custom tiger fangs. He had them made after his dentist told him that his own teeth were in bad shape.
We spent quite a bit of time going around with it, and he was somewhat intrigued with what I wanted to do, and it took some time to get the shape right and all of that, but he did a really outstanding job on them.
And the modifications have become even more radical over the years. He's let his nails grow, reshaping them into extreme claw-like proportions. He's even obtained corrective contact lenses shaped like a cat's eye. But the man responsible for his most radical physical change is an Arizona-based body modification artist named Stephen Hayworth.
All right.
The two have been working together since 1996.
I've never met anybody who is as eager and steadfast to get to their goal as he is.
Over the last few years, he's injected a surgical-grade plastic into various parts of Cat's body, like his brow, giving him a more bulbous forehead. He even cut a cleft into Cat's upper lip in order to achieve a more cat-like mouth.
His whole interest in the modification of his body is on such an incredible, deep spiritual level that it's almost hard to try to fathom the dedication he has.
And despite an appearance that can only be described as shocking, Cat actually leads a fairly regular life, holding down a normal job as a successful electronics technician. And although he has very little contact with customers, his boss, Ralph Fenner, says he has no problems with his appearance.
Peroxide on the low side. Cat is an excellent technician. Yeah, I think they're... If you close your eyes, you will never imagine that you're dealing with a person who appears as a cat. His character is very good. Otherwise, he wouldn't last around here.
While he enjoys the life of a loner at his home in the California hills, Cat knows that he'll draw attention anytime he ventures out in public. And the short trip to Steve's office in Phoenix is no exception.
What I'm doing is something that I have to do for myself. It's whatever other people think, I don't care. They're going to think what they're going to think anyway. So whatever somebody thinks is their problem.
For the session that Ripley's will document, Steve is working on Cat's ears to give them a more cat-like appearance.
When it heals, he'll have a much more of an extreme pointed ear. It definitely won't look anything like a human ear.
And 1 month later, with the painful surgery healed over, Cat can now begin work on transforming a new body part. For Cat, the pain that he endures during such radical procedures is just an uncomfortable part of the process.
you're always walking a line between two worlds, and to find a middle road that you can walk and still be comfortable is difficult to do.
Cat, who is currently the spiritual leader of this 350-member Lakota tribe, plans to continue his amazing transformation. He believes that his tiger-like appearance is constantly bringing him closer to the spiritual world of his ancestors.
Well, I feel good about what I've done so far and where things are going. It comes down to that I am closer to my totem, and it's really that I have greater serenity in day-to-day life.
His next procedure is to insert hair plugs on his upper lip for whiskers. And his biggest fear is that he'll die before finishing the entire physical transformation.
You're watching Ripley's Believe It or Not.
You may not particularly like your HMO, but no matter how long you have to wait, medical science has made some serious advances. For instance, back in the 19th century, tetanus was an epidemic, and one of the symptoms was called lockjaw. Jaws that would clamp down so hard that almost nothing could open them. People could choke or even starve to death. But this is a lockjaw opener. It worked very simple. First, your front teeth would be smashed, then this thing jammed inside, and, well, some things are best left to the imagination. But as to be expected with these torturous medical practitioners, they provided no painkillers at all. Unbelievable? Believe it.
In the summer of 1984, we built the perfect hideout in a place we were forbidden to go. We were sure no one would find it. The problem was...
You guys hear that?
What? Something else was already there.
The floor. What? It moved.
Maybe it leads to the mines.
Chiller Films presents a world television premiere.
What's that?
Starring Modern Family's Nolan Gould.
Karen?
Some secrets should stay buried. Gould premieres Friday, April 13th at 9, only on Chiller. Scary good.